Streaming 24/7.
24/7.
Bold Moves Radio.
Bold Moves Radio.
Afrika nakupenda sana. Oh, Afrika nakupenda sana.
Welcome to Bold Moves Radio. The show is Prudent Woman with myself, RHULANI BALOYI. We are with you once more as we come to you every Sunday from 4 o'clock up until 5 o'clock. This is Prudent Woman, a woman's show that we talk on anything that impacts women and their loved ones. Once more, we are here today with you. I am not alone, as I always do. We talk, we have conversations on different areas of life. Today, I have a wonderful woman with us, an optometrist. I have in the studio, Sibongile. You are welcome, all of you who are watching us on Facebook, all of you watching us on our YouTube pages. Please do not forget to subscribe so that you do not miss us. But above all, this is a conversation. We invite you. Please converse with us. Drop down your comments, your questions, so that we can pose them to our guest on the comments section. All of you whom are listening to us on Bold Moves Radio, you are welcome to send through your comments, your questions on our WhatsApp number. That is 081-358-8745. We would like to have you being part of this conversation because as Prudent Woman, we say the time is not enough, of course, to educate you, and it's not a consultation, but this is a session where we spark conversations. We say we bring it to you, and a prudent woman will go out and look for more information on the subject that we'll be talking about. And today, as I come to you, together with Sibongile. Sibongile is bringing along awareness on eye care, the importance of visiting your eye care health provider regularly, not only once. I know, just like myself, some of us who have never visited any eye care health provider because you take it, you do not have a problem. So you just stay away. So today in this show, she's going to be taking us through for us to understand that you need not go to the eye care health provider for when you feel you have a problem with your eyes, but your eyes are a very vital organ that you need to take care of them. So she's bringing to us this awareness. And I invite all of you, please drop down your questions. You are welcome. She is here taking her time to come and educate us. Sibongile, you are welcome. And when I was going through your profile, I learned that you are an optometrist. Yes, I've pronounced it correctly. An optometrist. I would like you, as you greet our audience, just to take us through what is an optometrist. Maybe also, if you can tell us, how did you become an optometrist?
Thank you, Sister RHULANI. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, Prudent Woman and all the listeners. My name is Sibongile Mabunda, as we have already mentioned. Sibongile Mabunda comes from Tulamahashi. It's a location in Bushbuck Ridge under Mpumalanga, but now I'm based in Leboahum. I'm a mother of 2 girls. I'm a wife. Above all, I'm an optometrist by profession. Hence, I'm here today discussing the importance of visiting an eye care health provider regular. So you said I should explain what is an optometrist.
Maybe before you say to us what is an optometrist, I'm interested in understanding how did you become an optometrist?
Thank you, Sister RHULANI. As I was growing, I realized that my dad was seeing with only one eye.
Okay.
So I had an interest as to why is my dad only seeing with one eye, whereas my friends' dads are having both eyes. Yes. So when I asked him, he said he was playing with a slingshot. So he injured his eyes, one eye. So should he have gone for examination immediately? I believe his eyesight should have been kept safe.
Yes.
So for that reason, he became blind on one eye. So he's using one eye since the age of 12. And mind you, now he's 83. So you can imagine, for about 8 years. Yes, Yes, for about 80, almost 80 years
8 years,
or
yes.
70 years to be exact. He has been using one eye
Eye.
because
Yeah.
of a slingshot.
So it brought a calling into your
So
life.
it brought a calling into my life. Then I didn't know the profession, the name of the profession. So I went on to research, and then that's when I learned there's an optometrist. Yes. So in explaining what is an optometrist is a primary eye healthcare provider, whereby we help patients to maintain their eye health. We help patients to detect certain eye conditions such as myopia. Myopia is where you have difficulty seeing at distance. Other conditions are called hyperopia. Hyperopia is when you have difficulty seeing at near. Astigmatism is when you have sometimes you experience blurry vision. You also
Okay.
have presbyopia. Presbyopia is where you are no longer able to accommodate the way you used to. This one usually happens to people who are 40 and above. It can happen earlier, maybe from the age of 38, where you start to read at arm's length.
Yes.
So there is another conditions called cataract, we detect such as well, pterygium, and many other eye conditions.
It interests me when you tell us how you became an optometrist. And it says to me, as human beings, we need to be aware of our surroundings
That's
and
very true.
ask ourselves, why am I in the situation which I am in? Because I can just imagine if you did not take into cognizance what was happening within your very own family, looking at your dad, it means you will have missed your calling. Because the conversation that I had with you, I could see you've got passion with this thing, the eye, something that almost, I can say, maybe more than 80% of us, we don't actually consider important until such a time we are faced with an issue around it. That's how much we neglect the organ, the eye, you know. We do not take it serious. To us, is, I'm born with vision. I've got 2 eyes that I can see. Then it's good enough. I leave them and never go for a service, never take them anywhere. I believe they will always be good. And we are excited that we have you today here, because I know you're going to be talking to us about this important organ and how important it is for us to take it for a service. So when we talk eye care, what is it that basically you can tell us what one should be doing when they are saying, I'm taking care of my eyes?
We should protect our eyes at all costs, Sister RHULANI.
Mm.
We should eat healthy,
Okay.
especially food that have got vitamin A, vitamin C, and vitamin E. Those vitamins are very important to our eyesight. They maintain good eyesight.
So your diet has got a very important impact on your eyesight.
Good, that's correct.
I never saw it that way, because we tend to think diet only goes with your body and forget about the eyes. Your body in terms of how you look, how you feel.
Remember, Sister RHULANI,
Yeah.
your eye is also part of your body.
Okay.
So when you are sick, let's take you've got systemic conditions like high blood and diabetes. It doesn't mean it only affects the body.
Yes.
It also affects the eyes.
Okay.
So if you are diagnosed with such conditions, we have to manage them, because like for example, with high blood, it can lead to glaucoma, and glaucoma can lead to blindness.
Okay.
Yes. So once you are diagnosed with any systemic conditions and you're taking medication, take your medication accordingly, so that you manage your system, so that you are healthy and your eyes are healthy and you don't become blind.
So you say, when we say we are taking care of our eyes, eye care, it's diet.
It's that.
The next thing,
It's diet. Checking our surroundings, as you have mentioned. For example, people whom actually you can lose your eyesight in a split of a second. For example, people whom are going to the clubs, they can get stabbed and they can lose their eyesight just like that. Or So I'll advise that we avoid dangerous environments.
Environments.
Yes. Even people whom are working with hazardous machines or equipments like chainsaw, grinders, welding machines. I'll advise them to always put on safety goggles. Like us women, RHULANI, when we cook, sometimes we chop onions and it becomes irritating. So we can put on kitchen goggles to protect our eyes.
That's very interesting. Will the onion have an impact on your eyes?
RHULANI, you know that once you start cutting onions, most of the time you start tearing.
Yeah.
That's the sign that you're getting irritated.
Okay.
Once you see someone tearing, it means actually tearing is a defense mechanism.
Oh, so the eye is saying, I have to fight here.
Yes, I have to fight.
Yeah.
Yes, because I might be getting an infection.
Okay.
So they're repelling whatever is coming the eye's way. So once you see someone tearing, the eyes is defending itself.
So you talk about kitchen goggles. Maybe this should be something that prudent women will take with us out of this show. What are these kitchen goggles? Because I know each and every one of us daily, if not, we are slicing onions. And I'm that one person who sometimes, you do it looking that way, trying your best not to be crying.
Or to do it faster.
And do it faster, but it still has the same impact.
Yes,
so when you talk about kitchen goggles, what are they and where can one find them?
Kitchen goggles is not something fancy. They look like swimming goggles. I believe most of us know swimming goggles. The ones that they cover the whole eye, that with the rubber.
Yes.
They are actually safety goggles.
Oh, so I can put those ones.
Yes, you
can. And be chopping the onion.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. If you don't have those, you can put your onion in water at least a minute before you can cut it.
Okay.
Soak your onions in water for a minute, you can cut it. It won't be too harsh once you start cutting or chopping it.
This is very interesting, prudent women, and I trust that you are learning just as I am learning in this session as we continue with our conversation with Sibongile Mabunda. She's an optometrist and she is here to talk to us about eye health care. So Ceci, maybe before we go on an ad break, I just want to understand, we say you are an optometrist. Are you a doctor? How do we classify you,
Yes, RHULANI, an optometrist is an eye doctor.
Okay.
Doctor of the eyes. We're actually clinicians where we diagnose, we treat, we manage, we prescribe certain eye drops, and we also prescribe spectacles if there's a need.
Okay.
So we are eye doctors.
You are eye doctors. So we are grateful to have you here in the studio today as we continue with this conversation. All of you who are joining us through our different platforms, thank you very much. I see quite a number of you here, and I trust that you're going to be having this conversation as well as you send through your comments and your questions as we continue with the conversation. I would like us to go on an ad break. When we come back, we will zoom into how do we protect our eyes. Sibongile would like to help us, just on a lighter note, even as we acknowledge that the time is not enough, to take us through how does one take care of their eyes. So let us go on an ad break. We'll be right back with you. You are listening to Bold Moves Radio. The show is Prudent Woman with myself, RHULANI BALOYI. We come to you every Sunday, 4 o'clock until 5 o'clock. Today, we are having here in studio with us Sibongile Mabunda. She is an optometrist. We are talking on eye health care, which she brings to you this afternoon, an awareness on how to take care of our eyes. Before we went on an ad break, we were talking on the different things that we should make sure that we look out for, so that we can say we are taking care of our eyes. And I see here Pastor Joelyn asking a question: does the new trend of eyebrows and eyelashes have an impact on the health of our eyes? I think it's more related. You gave an example of onions. So she's asking us in terms of this new trend of eyelashes, me wanting to have those long eyelashes, does it have an impact on our eyes?
Yes, it does have an impact. The first experience that we get to encounter when we put on those eyelashes is tearing.
Yes.
So that shows there's an irritation. As I indicated earlier, that once you start tearing, it means your eyes are defending themselves.
It's defense.
Yes, it's a defense mechanism.
Mm.
So it does have an impact. Still on that, RHULANI, when coming to this thing, products of makeup, I'll advise that we go for the ones that are marked hypoallergenic. The ones that are marked hypoallergenic, they give less allergic reactions or no.
So they will have
reaction
written on the product that hypoallergenic.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they would have written hypoallergenic.
Yo, that's a very wonderful advice that you are giving to us and all the women, because I know we don't know what is it that we should look for, but again, we like to look good. It's you always feel good. It also works on your mental health to look good. So it's good to know what is it that I should look forward to, so that I can be assured that whatever that I'm using, it's good for my health. And I see another question here, Sibongile, one of our viewers saying, you thought tears are good for your eyes. And I'm saying this, I'm reading this statement because I know all of us, that's what we think, that when you cry is good. We were told you must cry, not understanding it's the mental issue of crying because you are taking out this pain that you have. But when you release tears, maybe take us through, when you release tears, is it beneficial for you, for your health?
For mental health?
Not for mental health, for your body, for the eyes. Is it good to release tears?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
As I mentioned, it's a defense mechanism. Let's take, there are some germs coming into contact with your eyes. And then when you release those tears, they're cleaning themselves.
Okay.
So it is good.
Oh, so as I cry, it releases whatever that was an irritation in my eye.
Let's take you are a smoker.
Yes.
And you start to get irritated.
Or
you are exposed to dust and
yes.
you start to get irritated. Yes. So those tears are defending you.
Okay.
Defending your eyes, actually.
Okay. So, Sibongile, as we continue with this discussion, and more especially on watery tears, having eyes that are forever watering, I know most of us suffers from that. And at times you do not know, or you don't believe you have been exposed to anything, but your eyes just start running. What may be the cause, and is it a cause for concern for me to say I need to seek for medical help?
Yes. There's a condition called dry eye.
Okay.
So once your eye feels dry, obviously tears will be triggered to come and moisten the eye.
Okay.
And a healthy eye is supposed to be moist and smooth all the time. When you blink, you should not feel any irritation.
Okay.
So I mentioned earlier that we detect certain conditions. I also mentioned pterygium. Pterygium is a condition that is caused by light rays, and then it develops a layer on top of your eye.
Okay.
So that it absorbs the moistness in the eye, and then it starts to feel dry. It's as if there's a sandy feeling or sandy sensation. So tears will come to moisten the eye. then
Okay.
start to tear time and again. So you have to go and consult. If the pterygium it's fully grown or it's well established, then we refer it to ophthalmologist. An ophthalmologist will remove the
Will
pterygium.
remove it.
And then they will refer you back to us
Uh,
so that we prescribe tinted lenses.
okay. Yeah. So it looks like tears are a very important thing in our eyes.
Yes.
They are medicine coming from the creator.
Yes.
Yeah, because then you don't have to take water and wash and all that. But he has made it a point that when something is there, automatically something comes from your body and washes the eye.
Yes, but there are eye drops that we do prescribe if you are always having problems with teary eyes and having that condition I mentioned, that is dry eye. We prescribe those eye drops to increase the amount of moistness in the eye. So we do prescribe such drops.
Okay, because of course, I think for all the women who are here taking on makeups, I think no one wants to have watery eyes because it messes up with your makeup.
Yes, even people who are wearing contact lenses, they tend to feel their eyes are dry.
Okay.
So they can put on
those
drops.
The drops
to
that you're
moisten
talking
the
about.
eye.
Okay.
Because when you blink, there shouldn't be any friction. And because once it starts to be irritating, it can start to be itchy, they can become red, and then we should avoid rubbing
the
because
eyes
it will
now.
cause infections.
Okay. Oh, this is a wonderful session. I trust that all our viewers and our listeners, you are learning a lot from our guest, Sibongile, an optometrist. Sibongile, you know, I know I'm just like a whole lot of us believing in certain myths, you know, and it's in this show that we say we want to demystify some of the myths that are not backed by science, are not backed by those who are knowledgeable on a subject. Whenever an optometrist is mentioned, we all think of glasses, you know, thinking when you go to an optometrist, all they're going to do is to give you glasses. And so I wish for you in this session to demystify for us that notion. Maybe as you demystify it, just to alert us what will be the reason for one to wear glasses. What are the benefits? You know, because I've realized that some of us, because of that, you know, we go and see optoms, you prescribe glasses, I take them, you have prescribed them, and I put them on as and when. Sometimes you say you must put them on when you drive, and I feel as I'm driving, I can do without them and put them aside. So what will be the impact of not following such an instruction?
First of all, you have to understand why those spectacles are prescribed for you. And you have to put them on because they enhance and maintain good vision or good eyesight. So we have to put them according to the instructions. So let's take your prescribed spectacles for myopia.
Yeah.
So every time you are supposed to do, like you mentioned driving, you have to put on glasses because you'll have difficulty when it comes to driving because it requires distance vision, of which you're not good at when you are myopic. Yes. So you have to put them all the time. Some people, they will say, I don't put them because I find them not comfortable.
Yes.
Remember, when you have just bought new shoes, the first 2-3 days, they're not comfortable.
You actually compromise and say, hey, I spend a lot of money.
So with the eyes.
Yeah.
So you have to put them at least for a week.
Okay.
According to instructions. At least for a week. And then you'll get used to them. So if you're not used to them after a week, please go back to your eye care health provider. They'll assist you with your problem.
With them.
Yes.
Okay, because probably there is a reason why you are not comfortable with them.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I see some questions here going back to makeup. I know ladies with makeup, you know. I see Mama Shalati Makubela asking, how about the sharing of makeups, more especially with makeup artists? I think you see the brushes and all that. Does it have an impact that as you share them, you can infect each other with whatever.
Conditions.
Yeah.
Yes, we should avoid sharing makeup. I'm not killing makeup artist businesses.
Yes.
I'm just being honest here.
Mm.
Yes, we should avoid sharing makeups because some people have got conditions. Maybe my eye is normal, and then yours is not normal.
It's not normal.
Then they start with you, and then they take that infection to me. So if you've got your own makeup products, use
Yes,
your own.
use your own.
Try to your all best to use your own product.
Okay. So you can infect other people
Yes.
with eye conditions.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought,
There are conditions like pink eyes.
Oh, so
they are very contagious.
Okay.
Yes. So they can be easily
transferred to the next person.
Yes. True.
All right. I see Sesibzula Nyoni saying, if you have itchy eyes and they're painful, most especially when you are in the sun, will that be a point for concern? And what can be the cause, and what should you do?
Yes, it is a point for a concern. It means you are sensitive to light, or the light is damaging the light rays is damaging your eyes. So you have to get tinted lenses to reduce the amount of light coming into your eyes. Yes, your vision can be okay, but once you feel that irritation, it means you have to reduce the amount that is coming to your eye because it's not good for your eye. Remember, too much amount of light damages our eyes. So I also mentioned that we should avoid rubbing our eyes. So once you start rubbing, it means there's a problem.
Something's not right.
So it calls for a concern. You have to go and consult.
And someone is asking, yes, Sibongile, that you spoke about putting on glasses and that it's important to follow the instructions that you have been given, saying if you totally dislike wearing glasses, is there another alternative that you can take instead of wearing glasses?
Yes, there is. You can opt for contact lenses or for laser eye surgery.
Okay. Yes. Maybe if just a little bit of elaboration when we talk of contact lenses.
The laser eye surgery, they improve the eye vision it's an operation. But you will no longer need contact lenses or spectacles.
Okay.
And then contact lenses, they work the same as spectacles. It's a replacement. So they differ. They are the ones that you can put them daily. They're the ones that you can put monthly, weekly.
The contact lenses.
Yes, they are the ones that you can sleep with them. So they are the ones that you have to take them off every day.
Okay. Yes. So medical technology has advanced so much. Prudent Women, we are talking to Sibongile. She's an optometrist, and we appreciate women like yourselves who have gone out to seek knowledge, and you are here to educate us. And I always say, medical science has advanced so much. There's a whole lot. When you talk of contact lenses, what we know is those ones that you take off every evening. And one will say, hey, it's troublesome. Sometimes you lose them. You must have what, and if you're not home and all that. But you can hear what she's saying. There's so much advancement because you're saying that those which you can put for the whole week, month, a year,
It's only
a month. But I trust that very soon we'll have those you can put for the year or for a lifetime. That's how much medical science is advancing. But again, it takes you yourself to seek for that information and be knowledgeable so that when that time comes, because as we said when we started this show, to say with eyes, when a child is born and they can see, we take it, that's it is well, good and clear, no need to look after them. But we are realizing today that you need to take care of them, and on a daily basis we have a lot of hazardous situations or conditions that will expose our eyes to, which we did not know that we need to be protecting them. Today I know about kitchen googles, that you can use your swimming googles to put them on when you work on that onion. Take care of them. It's not good for them to be exposing them to such a condition. So thank you so much for all of you who are watching and all of you who are listening to us. This is Prudent Woman on Bold Moves Radio. We will be going on an ad break. We'll be right back with you. Welcome back. This is Bold Moves Radio. The show is Prudent Woman with myself, RHULANI BALOYI. We come to you every Sunday, 4 o'clock up until 5 o'clock. Today we have in studio Sibongile Mabunda. She is an optometrist. We are talking on the importance of visiting your eye healthcare provider to look after your eyes. And I love it because I see our viewers and our listeners are having a conversation with us by the questions that they are sending through. Sibongile, I see Mama Priscilla Maingani saying she's going to get those Googles. You know, I know women are going to be putting on Googles in the kitchen. So watch out there. And it's information, as you said, they are not something fancy. It doesn't cost you much, but it can cost your eyesight. I can just imagine over the time that I've been cooking, exposing my eyes, not knowing that I'm doing it. I'm actually damaging my eyes. And I see Sitinzwalo Matebula saying when we were growing up, we were told to eat a lot of carrots. And she's asking, is this making an impact? Can it improve one's eyesight?
Yes, it does. A carrot has got vitamin. I remember earlier I mentioned that we have to eat food that have got vitamin A, C, and E.
Yes.
Carrots has got vitamin A and C. So it's very beneficial to maintain eye health.
So you need to take carrots. What maybe
carrots?
Yeah.
Oranges, green leafy vegetables. Even salmon fish.
Okay.
It's also good.
So
because of the omega-3.
All right. So what it reminds me is what you said as we began the show to say, what's more important is your diet.
That's true.
When it comes to your eyesight. So prudent women, what we are learning is that the diet is very important. We cannot continue to eat as we want, but we must make sure that we eat to live, not to live to eat. You remember the slogan by our resident dietitian. So it affects all areas of our lives, you know, all aspects of our lives. Sibongile, when I was preparing for this show, I came across what they call the 4 P's of looking after your eyesight. If you can take us through the 4 P's, I found them to be very important because they will help us to always remember. You know, once you are given an acronym on something, it's very difficult to forget it. So I felt this is very important for our prudent women to be able to follow through what you will have taught us today.
Okay. The 4 P's that you would like to know about is to prevent, to protect, to preserve, and to prioritize. So preventing is what we have been talking about since the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
The show, yes. And then we have to protect our eyesight at all costs, like I mentioned.
Yes.
If you, like I mentioned, that my dad is seeing with one eye. Should he have not preserved the other eye? It means he will not be seeing by now. And then we should also prioritize, make sure good hygiene, taking care of our eyes. Like Mama, there's a question about makeup. So you have to use the right product that do not damage our eyes.
Okay.
So it's to prevent, protect, prioritize, and preserve.
So you preserve your eyes. Wow. So the 4 P's. I trust that, ladies, you've heard that, what she's saying. And, you know, as we continue to talk on this organ, the eye, I realized that I did not ask you something, which I have also been thinking of. You said we must regularly visit the optometrist. And I ask myself, and I trust that other people have the same question to say, when should I visit an optometrist? And how often should I do that?
People with systemic conditions, they should visit an optometrist every 6 months.
Okay.
They know themselves, those that are diagnosed with any systemic conditions, that every 6 months they have to go for a review. So every time they go for that review, they must also go get their eyes examined.
Okay.
So the other people that they know themselves that they are normal, they can go every year.
Okay, so once a year,
Once a year.
I must visit an optometrist.
And when you experience those things that I explained, the irritation, itchy eyes, watery eyes, having difficulty seeing at near, having blurry vision, having difficulty when you have to read your SMS on your phone or find prints from your magazines, you have to go consult.
So whenever you have something that you are not comfortable with and you cannot explain why this is happening to me, you must go and visit an optometrist.
Yes, even drivers. Let's take I'm a passenger and I can see the person who's driving me is going this way, not straight, not following their lanes. There might be a problem of astigmatism. They might not be seeing the line straight. So you can advise them, please, you should go see an optometrist.
Okay. I was once with a person whom we saw a zebra.
Yes.
You see a zebra.
Yes.
And then this person, as we approached the zebra, asked, where is the zebra going? Which direction? Because this person thought the zebra is looking that way when the zebra is looking this way. So those are the things that should alert you to say, maybe
there's a certain eye condition you're having.
I'm having, so I need to go and see an optometrist. Then, Ceci, with these professions, sometimes they get to confuse us. I know, and I've experienced that situation where I'm consulting an optometrist, and I know they differ in terms of levels. Consulting an optometrist, then the optometrist says to me, please now you must go and see an ophthalmologist. And when you make queries to be making that appointment, you find that the ophthalmologist is more expensive. And it tends to make us now to want to stick with the optometrist. It's human. No one wants to part with a lot of money. But I know all of us who will part with that money when we fully understand what is the difference between the two professionals. Because it is when I don't understand. That's why I say, why should I go and pay a lot of money by the ophthalmologist when I can continue and see an optometrist and you continue to give me glasses? That's what we always thought happens. But today we will clarify it to say, with you, you are sort of clinicians. You diagnose, you treat, you manage. Give us a highlight. What is an ophthalmologist and what is it that they do that you don't do, so that you can encourage some of us whom the optometrist has already referred us to the ophthalmologist, but because it's expensive, we are reluctant.
Okay, thank you. We the optometrists are primary eye care health providers.
Okay.
And the ophthalmologists are medical doctors, specialized medical doctors that specializes with the eyes, and they are also surgeons. So there are conditions that, as the primary eye care health provider, when I encounter, I have to refer to the ophthalmologist. And then the ophthalmologist will sort you out. Let's take, for example, I have referred you for cataract removal.
Yeah.
After that cataract removal, the ophthalmologist will send you back to me so that I can prescribe tinted lenses to protect you against too much amount of light. Because too much amount of light is the one that usually causes cataract. So I'll give you that tinted lenses and manage your eye health.
Your eye health. Yes. So from your side, you don't do surgeries and all these things. Then the ophthalmologist is the one who will have to do it.
Yes, we work to a certain scope. And then if the scope is higher than us, we refer to them.
Okay, so we understand today, Prudent Woman, that there's a difference between the two of them, an optometrist and an ophthalmologist. And it does not mean when you are going to an ophthalmologist because his scope is a bit higher, it does not mean you will remain there. There comes a time now you have to go back to an optometrist. And it's very important, we have always spoken about it, that you should follow through. It's not good for you to go to an optometrist, this one today, and then the condition is not well, and then now you go to another one, because then they are not able to track your history. I would like to believe you're not prophets. You look at the condition and you listen to what me myself I'll be telling you. These are my experiences, and over time you observe my condition and you are able to diagnose correctly.
Yes, to emphasize on that, you have to detail every experience what you're having with your eye so that you can give proper diagnosis. And you must also ask questions from your eye care health provider, because they can prescribe you spectacles without explaining much. Then you go and put them at your sideboard
and you don't wear them, most especially because if you don't ask questions, you will not understand. Okay.
So you should get out of consulting room with understanding what are these spectacles prescribed for.
So it comes back to that, to say it is not the responsibility of the medical professional to diagnose you. It's your responsibility to observe yourself and go and speak to your medical health professional and explain your condition and ask questions why you are doing certain things, so that you do them with understanding. As prudent women, we say we must always be intentional in what we do, because it's all about us and our loved ones. Yes, as we continue with the show, we are talking to Sibongile Mabunda. She's an optometrist, and we are talking on eye health. So she is bringing awareness on the importance of visiting our eye health care professional. We would like to go on an ad break. When we come back, we'll be wrapping up and we'll be talking on just how to take care of our children and the tips that you would like to leave us with as we continue to take care of this very important organ, the eye.
Are you ready for the ultimate dietary powerhouse? Look no further than Masana Dietitian's Nutro Boost. Our scientifically formulated low GI food is designed to give you the boost you need to fuel your body and reach your health goals. With Nutro Boost, you have the flexibility to enjoy it as a high-fiber cereal or a satisfying shake. Simply mix it with water and indulge in the mouth-watering flavors that we have to offer. But that's not all. Nutro Boost is packed with essential nutrients that are beneficial for your overall well-being. Enriched with 20 immune-boosting vitamins and minerals, it's a convenient and effective way to support your immune system. And here's the best part. NutriBoost is gluten-free, egg-free, and high in omega-3, making it suitable for those with dietary restrictions or allergies. Need an energy boost? NutriBoost has you covered. It's high in energy and protein, providing you with the fuel you need to power through your day. Whether it's a busy morning or an intense workout session, say goodbye to midday slumps and hello to sustained energy with Nutro Boost. Try it today and experience the difference. For orders or to become a distributor, contact us on the following details.
Welcome back. You are listening to Bold Moves Radio. The show is Prudent Woman with myself, RHULANI BALOYI. Today we bring to you eye care health awareness together with my sister, Sibongile Mabunda. She is an optometrist. She is talking to us about eye health care. If you have just joined us, I will encourage you to go back to the show when we are done to listen to the wonderful news that she has been telling us, the number of awareness that she has been giving to us, things that we have always thought in this way, you know. She has been demystifying a lot of myths for us around the issue of the eye. So as we continue with this conversation, Sibongile, someone may be asking, it looks like we are talking on eye health care for elderly people, because in most cases we start to look after our eyes when we are older. But I would like to believe prevention is better than care. You mentioned on the 4Ps that there's prevention. So I would like to believe we need to start looking or taking care of our children's eye health care. What can you advise us on taking care of the health care of our children?
And coming to the children, we have to observe how they behave. If they're walking on the stairs, maybe they're always falling, or they stay closer to the TV, or when they're in class, they complain of not seeing at the board. We need to take them to the optometrist because that can affect their performance at school. Even teachers, they do observe such, and they do write letters to us parents that your child has got problems. Maybe your child has got spelling mistakes problems.
Yeah.
And then you just take it as if it's just spelling mistake problems. But you might find that your child has got eye problems. So once they take that initiative of writing you that letter, please take it very serious and take your child to an optometrist so that they can examine the child. If there's a need for visual assistant or visual aids, then they will prescribe.
So a child can be born with very good eyesight, because most of us, those who can, they are in a position to give birth to their children at the hospital. And I know in hospitals, they will always have a pediatrician who goes and examine the child, and they give a green light for a child. But it can happen that immediately after that, before they are even grown up, they start to have eye problems. And what what tips can you give to us as mothers in terms of the surroundings that will expose our children, more especially when they are still young, where you still have control, the surroundings that will expose them to, that will not be harmful to their eyesight? Or let me say, those environments that they are harmful to their eyesight, just that awareness.
What I have learned throughout the years is that with the little ones, we don't usually wash their toys.
Okay.
So I mentioned that there are conditions that are contagious. So if they are playing with other kids, we're talking about a crash.
Yeah.
And then they are sharing those toys. Then they can easily affect each other. So we should also wash their toys time and again.
Okay.
And good hygiene. We must make sure that we clean their eyes properly. And avoid high soaps.
Okay.
I would advise to go for pure soaps, the ones that are not harmful, they are not irritating to the eyes. So because once they are irritating, they'll start to rub their eyes, and then they'll cause serious conditions like keratoconus, and that will lead us to sending you to an ophthalmologist
for an operation. So even soaps have got an impact on your eyes.
Yes.
I know even as adults, there are those soaps which when you use, one mistake, when you are washing your face, it gets into the eye. Oh, it's so painful. When you don't watch out on what you are eating. So, you have empowered us so much today. But I would like to believe there are certain tips that you like us to take along, that you say, these are the tips that I'm leaving you with. Take care of them. Always try to think of them so that you can have very good eyesight as you continue with your life.
Thank you. So RHULANI, the tips that I'll leave you and the listeners with is that all the time, very often, we have to wash our hands. COVID has taught us that our surfaces are very contaminated. And I mentioned that we should avoid rubbing our eyes. But
Yes.
there are sometimes you feel the eager to rub your eyes. So if it happens that you are rubbing your eyes and your hands are contaminated, then you might get an infection.
Infection.
So I'll advise that we should always wash our hands. And then there's another very important thing that I must say. People do not know, or I might say they are ignorant. They do not read the leaflet inside the boxes of eye drops.
Okay.
Eye drops, once they are open, they should be used within 30 days.
Okay.
The day you open the cap, you should mark it. Today is the 11th of
Okay.
June. So that the 11th of July, when the 11th of July comes,
Discard.
dispose. Yes. Whether the expiry date is still 3 years to come, or you have used the eye drops 3 times, still half full or what, you have to dispose. So for you to remember that this eye drop, it has been opened for 30 days. Once it's opened, just mark it. I opened it on this day, so that the following month, the very same day, dispose
of it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No, unfortunately, I will not release you because our guests, our listeners still have a whole lot of questions. I see someone asking, Mr. Criswell Baloyi, saying, asking whether eye problems are hereditary.
Yes. Some conditions are hereditary. Remember, I also spoke about systemic conditions. You should also know your family history. Yes, it's true. They are hereditary.
Okay. Will you like to take us through which conditions, maybe just for the sake of our viewer who has asked this question, to say this condition and this condition can be hereditary?
Well, most of all these conditions can be hereditary.
Okay.
So as you consult with us, we do ask, is there someone at home wearing spectacles? Is there at home having problem with red eyes? Is there at home? So almost all these conditions.
They are okay. So that's why you asked that question.
Yes.
And it's very important to answer them.
Yes.
Honestly so.
Even if it's your grain, maybe your parents are not having eye problems, but your grannies are having eye problems.
Okay.
Then it may indicate something.
Yes. Okay. And I see another question from Ceci Von Machele saying, at what age should I take my child for visits with an optometrist? From what age?
I'll suggest from when they start going to school. But even when they are still young, they may have discharges that you see that this is not normal. Then you can also take them to an optometrist.
So even when the child is still very young.
Very young.
So the discharge that comes from the eyes, but then you bringing in another element which I almost forgot. You know, all of us, when we wake up, you have some sort of discharge, but there are those whom it's too much. Is it cause for concern, and at what level should one be concerned?
The color of discharge.
Okay.
The amount of discharge. There are normal discharges. The ones like, we call it malanga in my language. Those ones, it's just the eye cleaning itself from what it has been exposed to the previous day.
Yes.
But once the discharges start to be like mucus,
okay,
that is a sign that there's an infection.
And some of the people, the mucus one, sometimes when you wake up, it's difficult to open your
the
eyes.
Yes.
Okay.
So that is a sign that you've got an infection. So you have to consult with us, and then we'll prescribe eye drops that will assist.
And at times, those ones, they tend to have a discharge throughout the day, even after washing. After some time, they start to have that discharge. Okay, so it's a cause for concern. But because then your eye cannot be cleaning itself throughout the day.
No.
It must clean itself at night as you sleep. Okay, so the eye actually is alive.
Another thing, talking about sleeping, when we go to sleep, we have to switch off the light.
Okay.
Switching off the light, it is shutting down the eyes to be waking.
Okay.
Because if you do not switch off the light, you're not completely shutting off the mind. Remember, the vision is coming from the occipital brain. So we have to rest. Remember, I told you for us to maintain our health, we have to rest our eyes. So they're not resting enough if we do not switch off the lights.
So you must sleep in a dark area.
Yes.
Okay. So the eye has got so much linkage with your mental health.
Yes.
Because I think this we were taught during sessions where we're talking on mental health, that you need to, when you go to sleep and say you are sleeping, it must be dark. So even now, today, we have someone who deals with the eye saying it must be dark. So indeed, the eye is the window to your spirit,
Soul.
to your soul.
Yes, to your soul.
Okay, that is wonderful. I see another myth here. Says Bzula Nyoni, coming with a myth. And I know, we have a lot of myths around eye care. She's asking, is it right to put sugar in your eye?
No, it's not. It's not right.
Okay.
Why do you put sugar?
I wonder, says Bzula, why do you put sugar on your eyes? Yeah, she just said, is it right to put sugar on your eyes?
You put sugar, the next thing bees will come after.
And
But they sting on you.
And I would like to believe the sugar, once it has melted, it becomes mucus-like on your eye. Sticky. Oh, yeah. So what will you say one should put on their eyes? I know some of us, when the eyes are too red and all that, you'll hear someone saying, no, just put a warm water in the eye to clean them.
With the warm water, yes, it's fine. You can. Most of the time, when you are home, far away from the healthcare providers, I'll advise that you wash your eyes with just water. So water is good.
Okay. No, Sesi Bzula has actually answered that. They said put a little bit of sugar when your eye is painful.
No, it doesn't take away. It's the same as say, if one has got a headache, and then if this headache is caused by eye strain, and then they take on painkillers, the headache will not go away until you put on spectacles that will relax the eye muscles.
Yeah, because now you just want to you want to deal with the symptom, but not treat the cause. So you must go to the cause and address it.
True.
Wow. That's wonderful. I see Mama Takan Mabasa saying she does not know when she opened the eye drops. Thank you so much. I have been using them throughout, damaging my eyes, not being aware. You see that is how appreciative we are at Prudent Woman to have had you coming through to give us this awareness. Some of the things to you as professionals in the field seems to be very obvious. But to us, it's not obvious. And most especially, we do not blame you as professionals that you did not tell us that this card after a month, you thought we'll read the pamphlet, the leaflet there. And you also have a lot, because when we come to your surgery, sometimes we wait for the whole day and you are looking at making sure that you attend to everyone. So, Prudent Woman, it is upon us as women who are intentional with their decisions to always look out for this information. And we appreciate all the different professionals who come through to the show, because they take their time, they do more research on what's currently happening, on the new trends that are there in the market, the new research that is coming up, what is out there, to come and empower us. So we'd like to say thank you to all of you who have been here having this conversation. Thank you to all of you who have sent through your comments, your questions. I would like to say thank you. We cannot thank you enough, Sibongile. Thank you for your sacrifice and your time to come through and empower the Prudent Woman. Yes, of course, I know we've been asking you a lot of questions, but I would like to believe maybe there's something that we did not ask you, but which you think, looking at the organ, the eye, you would like to leave us with.
I think most of the important things that we spoke about covers almost the very important thing. So I'll go back to that one, that we have to prevent. Let's avoid rubbing our eyes at all costs, because it causes a lot of damages. So we have covered almost everything.
Thank you so much to you, because it was through you sharing your information that we're able to cover all these things. Ladies, let us go and look after our families. The vision is not automatic that you'll have it until you pass on, but it is for you to look out the 4 P's: prevent, protect, preserve and prioritize. So please let us go and look after our eyesight. It's a very important organ. It seems useless because I've never heard anyone saying that one is ugly because their eyes are ugly. That's how much we ignore it, you know. That's how much we're ignorant of it. We don't even look at it when we look at a person. I would like to say thank you so much to our technical team, DJ Messi. Thank you for being here with us. And of course, brothers, thank you. Our executive producer, Pastor Strike Mangani, thank you. The show and Bold Moves Radio will not be what it is without his obedience to having been the vision bearer who went out to say, I want to establish this show, this radio, Bold Moves Radio. And of course, Bold Moves Radio is packed with shows which are very educational and informative. As we get to start the week, every morning from 6 o'clock up until Friday, we have a prayer. And every Tuesday, we have got African Experience. And on Thursdays, we have got Love SA. And of course, as we end this show, we are not yet done. Go and grab a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, and make yourself comfortable, because Bold Moves bring to you the Living Word Outreach Program with Pastor Frida Matebula. It is coming to you right here on this platform at 5:30, and you will never be the same. Go and grab that cup of coffee and tea and have a wonderful time in the presence of the Lord. Thank you. We shall be with you once again next week, same time, same place. Have a blessed week.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is.
Streaming 24/7. 24/7.
Bold Moves Radio.
Bold Moves Radio.
Afrika nakupenda sana, oh Afrika nakupenda sana.